Run your day with Runday.ai.
Hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. How's it going?
It is
Doing very well.
good. Good to be here.
Well, Dr. Patton, thank you so much for joining me and Larry, with the situation with the explosion that we just encountered. This is a good timing for our conversation. Well, tell us first about kind of your background, what you're working on these days.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm the CEO and founder of Space Grove Ventures. We are actually located on the Space Coast. Our building will be in close proximity to everything space here on the Space Coast. And we are a global innovation hub. So we prioritize real estate and international soft landings with space agencies. And we're excited to be in Florida, the best state on the planet. Yeah, blue was, that was devastating. My corporate HQ is a few miles from the launch pad. And we definitely saw the explosion.
So you
And
saw it in person.
yes, yes,
Oh my God.
yes. We feel everything when the launches go up. We've had projectors fall from the ceiling. We've had all sorts of things
So did
happen.
you see it, hear it, or feel it first?
Uh, I believe I felt it first. Usually that's what causes me to get up and go outside.
Yeah.
And then saw it, obviously. And yeah. But one of the things that stood out the most was I was watching the news and the mayor of Titusville. There were a lot of words being said, and I really like what he had to say. He calmed everybody down. He said, let's not jump to conclusions. Everybody is okay. And now it's time to rebuild. And I think that's what we have to think of when we think of these brand new types of situations that are going on now. Everything is new, everything is being tested, and we have to have faith in the system. I'm just so happy that no one was hurt, and now we're back to the launch pad. And literally the next morning at like 9 or 10 a.m., another launch went up, which for someone like me was a huge
Wow.
sigh of relief because it means that we're back to normal or
Wow.
semi-normal operations. So yeah, that's my take on it. I'm just so happy that we're able to move forward and continue getting ready for Artemis.
What time of day did it happen?
So it was in the evening. I believe it was around 9 or 10. What was interesting is that I belong to CivMil. It's a civilian military organization. So we were all meeting in Titusville and a bunch of other people that are part of the organizations that were part of that launch. And so we had all just gotten home from, from spending time together at our monthly Civ Mill. And it was just interesting to see people's reactions. Again, it was a horrible, horrible tragedy and a setback, but I think we can move forward.
Yeah, I saw a couple people's reactions that were just at like some of the bars and restaurants in the area and were able to have a view of it. And at first, a number of people, maybe who weren't in the know as much of what was going on that night, thought it might have been a nuclear attack because of looking at the pictures of the explosion, it's quite substantial. Like what the amount of, just the size of it really more than anything else. I mean, you don't really see, well, there's never been anything like this, right? In modern times.
Well, I don't know every single explosion. I know that we have had launches not go off before, but it was big and it was, people caught it on their Ring camera. I mean, there were all sorts of things that perpetuated fear and doubt. But I do think again that we are still launching. We are going to clean up that launch pad and we're going to be able to get back on track to where we need to be at. But yeah,
Well,
it
that
was
is certainly refreshing that there was a launch the very next day. What does
there was
this mean
there was.
to you, your organization, and your mission?
I think it just provides so much insight on what is necessary and needed. Space Grove, when we stand up our facility, will be a one-stop shop for everybody in the space domain. So it's a combination of manufacturing, it's a combination of launch operations, logistics, and then also those international collaborations. All of that fuels what's happening here in space. And when things go well, when things don't go well, Space Grove is there right beside these companies.
Talked about some of the companies you work for? Like, what are some most exciting? There was one company, Space Perspective. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They have a helium-based system where they're really more doing it for tourism or different types of use cases that don't require full orbit, where what was I got to have dinner with the original founders, and they were explaining it like, well, there's no rockets, there's no trajectory. We're just using kind of AI and predictive models to sort of like predict wind conditions and using that to decide how fast we elevate and how fast we descend. And based on that, they can kind of aim the balloon back down to, the vicinity of where you started from in Florida. Mm, talk about if you know more about that or other really interesting companies that you get to work with.
Yeah. So, what most people that aren't in this space ecosystem don't realize is space is adjacent to every single thing out there. So, when I use the two words space adjacent, it means that everything you need down here, you need up there. Some of the most interesting conversations I've had, we're getting ready to partner with a space insurance company, which, whoa, I'm sorry, I couldn't hold back. Like my business partner and I have been having conversations with them since our launch in January. And space insurance is a thing, and it is so stinking expensive and so smart. I've probably talked to about two or three companies. We are going to collaborate with one particular company, and we are going to amplify them and encourage people within our ecosystem to use that company. So we're vetting them right now, but they are obnoxiously ahead of the curve. So space insurance is one. I met a founder that is, goodness, he just moved here to Florida. He just brought his company to Florida, and he is in understanding like what does it need to look like when we're living in space, right? So what are the walls going to look like? What is everything you would think about when it comes to textiles and what is it going to look like as we live in space? I thought that was a really interesting conversation. And then logistics, I think, is also really important as well when it comes to space operations, and understanding that we have to test things. We have to watch how things work and make them not work in order to figure out what's going to go up and what's going to go up successfully. So I think those are three different areas that I think are pretty interesting. But the insurance things blows my mind, and I'm under an NDA with them, or else I would share more. But it is very, very interesting. So you'll be seeing that populate on our website pretty soon, where companies will be able to go through our portal to get a discount on space insurance coming soon.
Wow.
Base insurance discount. What's the best way for the audience to get involved? Should you just kind of come to Titusville and kind of look around and start learning? I see there's events hubs on your
Yeah.
website, or if they want to invest, what's the best way to kind of connect and see what this is all about?
Well, I'm really active on LinkedIn. And right now, I just made a big post where I'm looking for serious tenancy occupants right now. We are taking control over the facility to get ready to actually move in. And so that's really important for me to know who those founding tenants are going to be. We're being extremely selective, Sanjay and Larry. We're not a co-share. We're not an incubator. We're not any of those things. We are.
It's not a we work for space where anyone can
No,
just
it's
show up and
absolutely
like
not.
get a
We already
co-working
have
desk.
those, and they do a fabulous job. We have those here in the Space Coast. We are for established companies. There's a few startups that have gone through a couple seed rounds that we're having conversations with. Several universities are going to be a part of our hub. So that's really what we're focusing on. And once you're in to your 5-year lease, we want to make sure that it's a good experience for you and it's an attractable experience for other people. So LinkedIn is a great way to get in touch with me. And then there's even a contact me where you can schedule a meeting with me as well. And also email is really good as well. Melissa@thespacegrove.org.
Yeah. So what I took from our first call, right? The point of amazement for me was you started talking about space ag, right? Like all the things that we take for granted down here, like manufacture of
Mm.
clothing, but more importantly, Matt Damon and The Martian, you need food when you're there, right? So there's probably a whole like segment right? Just focus on that piece of it. And Sanjay,
Yeah. No.
it's mind blowing. And when you say logistics, like it's hard enough to think about FedEx and the way they run jets and trucks. Now we're talking about, I'm sure FedEx has got their foot in this somewhere somehow. But Sanjay, we talked a little bit about Runday's capabilities, and I think this is one of those ones where the good doctor pretty much knows everybody in her space. And if she doesn't, she's Kevin Bacon, but within 3 degrees of separation.
All right. Well, thank you
That's
so
all.
much for joining us today.
Stay ahead of the curve, hit that bell for notifications, and join us next time.